Get me live first. Not yet. There we are. Look at me. Fat as could be. All right, everybody. We're back with the 75th. That's right, the 75th episode of the Alpha Male Show. Paul Bonato in the house. What's going on, Paul? Good to see you again, sir. We got a fun-filled show for you. Steve Cooper in the house. Good to see you, Steve. My boy Rocco Filarino in the house. Yeah, these stupid things they have holding up the phones to slide all over the desk. What pieces of junk they are. So how's everybody doing? For those of you who do not know, I was not here last week with a bad back, which is still a bad back. It's not much better than the front, I'll tell you that much. Matty Coughlin in the house. What's going on, Matt? We got a fun-filled episode for you here today. We're going to let the place pile in, pile up. Everyone get here. Everyone rush to the crowd. I can't get the microphone to stand still. For some reason, it just keeps twisting in front of my face, which, all in all, can't be a bad thing. What do we got going on here? What are we gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about the Frankenstein body parts guy. We're gonna get into a little bit of that. We're gonna touch on that. I had a little visit with a dietitian, a diet doctor, and I'm gonna tell everybody how that went. Talking about losing some weight. Let's talk about some really fun stuff. Mike the Hammer Valentine in the house. What's going on there, Hammer? We're gonna talk rescue mania making its return Labor Day weekend at the Rutherford Street Fair again. Everyone saddle in, saddle up, and get ready because as summer is going to trickle down to an end in a few weeks, Rescue Mania is going to pick up, and then things are really going to get hot. So we're all excited about that. It's good to see you too, Hammer. As always, pleasure to see you. And Mr. Gal says hello. We were talking about you a little bit today. What else? We got so many things to talk about. The big thing will be the mass shootings, as I have promised. Both sides. One side says it's a mental illness problem. The other side says it's a guns problem. I'm here to tell you both. You're both wrong. But I wish I was feeling better. My back is still killing me. But I can only sit out for so long. You can't hold all this 340 pounds of fat down. So I wanted to come back in and gear up again for another gangbuster show here at Hamilton Radio. You have to excuse me. The doctor told me to drink more water, as if the 10 bottles a day I was drinking at work aren't enough. I need to drink more. Okay, let's jump right in with these Frankenstein body parts. Did anybody see this story where the doctors were people were donating I don't know, organs or body parts to science, and these alleged doctors or scientists were just trying to build the perfect Frankenstein, I guess, and we're sewing body parts together. This is why I tell you, do not donate parts to science. Screw that. Once they see that, they start saying this. We can do all kinds of weird shit with this because they gave it to us. You knew it was a matter of time. Just a matter of time for some wackaloon was sewing body parts together, trying to reanimate dead tissue. Okay? Can it be done? We don't know. They were creating zombies. They were creating the Frankenstein monster. Whatever they were doing, don't donate your body parts. Keep your organs, die intact. You don't know what you're going to need in the afterlife. Right now, there's some guy walking around, can't pee because he donated his kidneys, and he's going, shit, why did I do that? He can't have a drink because he donated his liver. I'm telling you, keep all your parts. You don't know what you need in the afterlife. These people are alive, got dealt their hand. They have what they have. That's their problem. My problem is in the afterlife, I might need my spleen. You don't know. Don't give your stuff away. Wackaloons will take your head, sew it to Aretha Franklin's torso, and God knows what's going to happen then. These are the kind of things you want to stay away from. All right, we're going to, I'm going to tease Rescue Mania. I'm going to go into the Diet Doctor, and then we're going to do a big portion of the show on the mass shootings, because I got a lot to say about those. So let's jump in real quick. Dennis Cisco in the house. I haven't seen my boy Dennis in a while. What's going on there, Den? Rescue Mania will be coming up to Labor Day weekend. We will be promoting it as we did last year. Hopefully I get the same shade tree to stand under and announce Rescue Mania. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a few months we've been off since like April. And I'll be honest, I kind of miss it. I miss the intensity. I miss yelling at the fans. I miss them yelling at me. And I'm looking forward to doing it again this Labor Day weekend. That's coming up. We will be doing actually Labor Day Monday. It'll be exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. Mike Bacchetti in the house. What's going on, Mike Bacchetti? Steve Renus is in the house. Oh, my God. We're getting a full house in here. I can't wait. Everybody can't wait for me to get to this mass shooting thing. I know it's getting people all riled up already. Yes, they actually do boo when I am when I am introduced, Hammer. They boo wholeheartedly. In fact, they start booing me before I'm introduced. As I get into the ring to start the matches, they start booing me. But good for them. They should be booing me. Anyway, I went to the Diet Doctor. I wanted to lose some weight. Quite frankly, a gag's a gag, but I'm getting a little over bloated, and they're charging me extra for these oversized shirts. And I realized if I lost some weight, I could pay the lower price for the Hawaiian shirts. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for. But what they're giving me to eat isn't. It's not human. It's basically I can eat if I'm Bugs Bunny, it's fine. But if I'm a full-grown human being, it's not enough. They limit me to, first off, they want me to eat green leafy vegetables. I don't touch green leafy vegetables. They're no good for you. They're leafy, they're green, and they all taste horrible. I take a daily vitamin. There you go. They also only want me to eat like 6 ounces of ham or ground turkey or skinless chicken breast. I'm like, whoa, 6 ounces. What am I going to do with 6 ounces? I need it, I don't order anything less than a 10-ounce steak when I go out. There's no way I'm going 6 ounces. That's crazy. And we go beyond that. Then they want, they only give me like a cup of berries or like a handful of fruit for my carbs. There's just they're not allowing enough food in the general idea of things. Some of the stuff I don't mind too much. The protein shakes are kind of cool. The only reason I even toyed with the idea of listening to what the diet doctor told me is that she was pretty hot. So whatever the diet doctor was going with, eat it very slowly. There's not enough to eat slowly. I feel like Rodney Dangerfield and Easy Money. I want to share like this little pill. Here, you want some of mine? But yeah, it just wasn't cutting it. But we're gonna try anyway. I'm gonna change it up myself a little bit anyway. Paul Passamano in the house. What's going on, Paul? What I'm gonna do is try and I'm gonna try and change the numbers a little bit and maybe ease my way into this diet because the way they're doing it is it's a little intense and it's a little much. I was first couple of days I did it, I wound up with a migraine. I couldn't sleep. I was just it wasn't good. I had to go out, get something to eat, and then I felt better. So, but I'm gonna give it another go just because the shirts are a lot cheaper. I mean, they're really cheap this way. You're knocking $4 off every shirt I buy, and I'm buying a lot of these things. Okay. Well, yeah, Rocco, if I could find somebody to make some escarole, I would, but I don't really know anybody. My whole family's dead, so nobody in the family can make escarole. So I'll find some happy medium in there. I'll tell you what, it'd be better if Brew and Burgers were still open. I go down there and eat. But anyway, there's still Josie's Pizzeria up here. Okay, we're gonna jump into the since I touched on all the little stuff. I'm gonna jump into this mass shooting thing because it's really. I'll just eat the recipe, Rocco. But feel free to send it to me. I'll still eat. Hang on. I want to get into this mass shooting thing. I'm gonna fill everybody in on some stuff real quick. Now, one side is screaming, "Hey, let's ban all these semi-automatic guns." That's the problem. My issue with that is you're not going to stop the mass shootings by even if you say ban semi-automatic guns, these people are going to still come in with, say they come in with anything else, say they come in with handguns, say they come in with anything. They're going to make bombs and put them in a van. We have to deal with the issue at hand of what's going on. Now, the right side wants to say it's mental illness, it's not the gun. I agree, it's not the gun. The gun isn't the issue. Whatever gun they're holding, let me tell you, back in the 70s, the 60s, the 70s, even the 80s, there were automatic weapons on the street. We're not even talking semi-automatics. We're talking automatics. Okay? We're talking about an Uzi 9mm that it could spread 120 rounds in a matter of seconds. Okay, and we didn't have these mass shootings. Why didn't we have these mass shootings then, but we have them now? Okay, now, they want to say it's the mental illness factor. And I'm going to be honest, obviously, if you're walking into a Walmart, if you're walking into a movie theater, if you're walking into a school, you're, with all intents and purposes, to massacre people, yeah, you're mentally ill. Okay? There's something wrong with you, obviously. I don't think either side is going to argue with the fact that this person is a mental patient. Hey, my boy Tom Montefusco in the house. What's going on? Miss me promoting Labor Day Rescue Mania. But we're going to do that again at the end of the show, so stick around, Tom. Right now, we're discussing mass shootings. So I got to say, I don't think either side is going to argue that any person walking into anywhere, whether it be a school, a shopping mall, a church, wherever, and you start blasting everybody, I don't think anyone's going to argue with the fact that the person doing that is mentally ill. Now, I understand if they don't have these semi-automatic weapons, they won't kill as many people. Well, you know what? I don't want to stop them I don't want to get them to go, well, instead of killing 16 people, they only killed 6. That's kind of not my objective here. I don't want to just have them kill just 6 instead of 16. I want the people to stop. Okay? And I want to stop the people. So I'm not going to start blaming the gun. Okay? Because I honestly think if they want to kill a mass majority of people, they're going to find a way to do it. Whether it's building bombs and blowing up vans, or running people over with their cars, or getting multiple handguns and becoming better shot, whatever the case may be, I'm not going to blame the inanimate object. And by all means, everybody stick with me on this, because we're going to go a step further. We have to figure out why people are doing what they're doing. What's going on, Darlene? Good to see you, honey. Now, here's my thing. This country has definitely lost its way. We used to have a nuclear family. Okay? The family was always together. You had the mom would stay home, take care of the kids. Dad would go to work. He would bring home the money to run the household. That is not even feasible anymore. Not saying that, women should stay home and men should go out and work, and let's go back to the 50s. The point is, we used to have this nuclear family where the dad going to work and making one salary could provide for everyone involved. They could take care of the family, they could pay all the bills, everybody would have what they needed, and yet there was still somebody at home to watch the kids. A big part of the problem, I think, is when I was a kid, my mother stood home. Sad as that was, she was still home. I wasn't pawned off on some daycare center that, although they took care of you, they didn't take care of you like your mother would take care of you. Your mother will always take care of you better than a stranger. Your mother will always take care of you, and I know I'm generalizing here. There's going to be instances, obviously, where, somebody's mother was horrible and a stranger took better care of you. I get that. But for the most part, in general, these kids who are doing these mass shootings are basically loners. They're alone. They don't know how to function in society. They don't know how to articulate, to communicate with people, to talk to people, they're your basic loner. They're by themselves. Nobody talks to them. They sit alone in their room all day. They surf on the internet and they think of demented, sick things to do because they don't have that family niche. And I get it, not everyone can have that. Because the way society has become, and the way this country has become, it's nearly impossible for a family to send one parent out to work and have the other parent home all day to look after their kids. Whether it be the mom staying home, And that, that's another thing that's going to drive me crazy that, that I'm going to want to chime in about. At what point in time? Now, understand this. Men going to work was the old way of doing things in this country. The men would go to work, the woman would stay home. Somewhere in there, women were told being mothers wasn't good enough. It wasn't fulfilling enough. I'm here to tell you, it's got to be the greatest job and the most important job this country has as someone being a mom to a child. I've worked in jobs, you know what? Hands down, women can come into the workplace, do any job a man can do. In most cases, not all cases, but in most cases, women can do a better job than men. Why? What we're doing isn't that difficult. All right, I'm not talking brain surgery is not difficult or engineering, but for the most part, being a manager, managing an insurance company, working in a warehouse, being being a police officer, all hard jobs, but these are jobs that women are not only more than capable of doing, in many cases, better than men. They're better at men than doing it. Why? Women are just better at things than we are. Okay? How do I know? They keep telling me they're better at it than we are. There must be something to it. But my point is, somewhere in there, this country convinced everyone that being a mom wasn't a fulfilling enough job to stay home and do. I got to disagree because I'll be honest with you. I can never be the parent. Well, that would be a lie because I think I'm a better parent than my ex-wife. But in general, men can never be the parents that mothers are. Mothers are, and it's just a nature thing. It's natural. They carry the child for 9 months. The child is going to be closer to the mother regardless. Okay? The child grew inside the mother. The mother gave birth. The mother nurtured it. The mother fed it. Okay? Generally, I'm breastfeeding. The mother fed it. If not, then, but, I mean, you can understand what I'm saying. This is a job that women are much better at than men, regardless. And somewhere in this country, somewhere along the way, they decided to convince women that they needed to be out in the workforce and not home taking care of the kids. Probably so, and hear me on this, because I know I'm onto something here. If you have 2 people out working, then you can charge more for stuff. Because now there's more money being generated. And now people can't afford anything. Why is it today, and this is the downfall of society, you have 2 parents working, the kids are in daycare, and nobody can afford you can't afford to pay your bills. You're behind on all your payments on everything. The foreclosure rate is through the roof. Repossession is through the roof. You can't pay. Who's behind on this bill? Who can't have this turned on? It's getting nearly impossible to live in this society because we already have 2 parents working, paying an overbloated mortgage. These kids are in daycare for as long as they can, and then parents, the first chance they think the kid is responsible enough to stay home by themselves, they leave them home by themselves so they don't have to pay for daycare, so they can start catching up on some of these other bills that they never had, that they weren't able to pay for. Now, to me, this all sounds crazy. Because back in the day, if one parent can go to work and pay all the bills and provide the family with everything they need, why is it today two parents can go to work and can't afford anything? And this is why and this is where I'm going at for the mass shootings. These kids are left home. Both parents are out to work. These kids, at too young of an age, are home alone because the parents can't afford to keep them in daycare because everything is inflated. And the government, who just keeps skyrocketing everything, is making it harder and harder for parents to survive and to keep a roof over their kids' heads. These kids are home alone. They're getting into trouble. They're doing stuff they shouldn't. They have easy access to the internet, especially when no one's home. No matter how many parental controls you put on things, nothing beats having a parent at home with the kids. So, I mean, this is where I'm going. These kids are being left home alone. They're not being taken care of. Parents cannot afford to keep sending these kids to daycare, to keep sending them out for people to watch them. So they kind of let these kids stay home alone so they can maybe afford to pay some bills. And maybe save for retirement, God forbid. And now these kids who are generally loners and don't have a lot of good communication skills. I know kids today do not have great communication skills. My daughter herself tells me, I have trouble talking to people. It's easier for me to email them or text them. I tell her all the time, pick up the phone and call somebody, figure out what you need for school, for loans and that. She goes, I have trouble doing that. It's easier for me to email them or text them. Why? Because they have communication problems because their head's buried in the phone all day, and they didn't grow up with at least one parent in the home teaching them how to communicate. Now, I'm not even going to get into this single parent home. That's a whole nother monster. That's part of this. You know what? You have a kid. You're responsible for the kid. Take care of the kid. Okay? Don't give me the... and this is a true story. I'm gonna tell you this story, and this is an issue I have. Not too long ago, maybe within the last year, I had a girl come up to me. I knew her. We spent some time together. We were intimate together, and that. She came up to me and said, "I already have a son. I'd like to have a daughter. I want you to get me pregnant. And if you don't want to have anything to do with the kid, you don't have to pay child support. You don't have to have anything to do with the kid. We'll sign papers, whatever it is. I just want to have a kid." Now, I don't know about everybody else, but I know I'm the kind of person who can't do that. I can't think this girl is going to go and have my kid, and I'm not going to have anything to do with this kid. This kid is half mine. It's half me. I've already raised my 3 kids, so I immediately told her, no, I'm not interested. There's no way I'm having a kid with you, because then I'll have to raise this kid, and I don't want to raise another kid. I've already raised my 3. Okay? I have a 30-year-old, 27-year-old, and an 18-year-old. I'm not starting all over again from scratch. But my point is, she's not going to have a kid, and this kid's not going to have a father figure in its life. It's not going to have a father in its life. And this kid's going to wander around going, how come I'm like this? And that kid is going to wind up in trouble because a single parent has way too much responsibility going on, trying to go to work, trying to raise these kids. And without the help of raising these kids are going to get into trouble. So whether it's on a small scale where they just wind up doing things they shouldn't be doing, or it's on a large scale and they go into a mass shooting, we have to start taking care of our children in this country. And it goes from the bottom up. Okay? It starts with parents, but the rest of the country has to lend a hand and help with this. We can't. That's why I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna blame the guns on the shootings, and I'm not gonna blame the mental illness. I mean, obviously, and again, don't get me wrong. It's definitely you walk into a room and start blasting people you don't know for no reason. There's obviously something mentally wrong with you. But how we get these kids to having something mentally wrong with them? We have them getting something mentally wrong with them by not taking care of these kids as a society. And I'm not saying it's the government's job to take care of these kids. But it's the government's job to start taking care of its citizens. And we have to start making it affordable in this country for people to live so that they're able to spend time and take care of their kids. It's to a point where everything is about work and nothing is about family anymore in this country, and that has to stop. This country was not great. This country wasn't great because we could compete with the Japanese technology-wise, or compete with the Chinese technology-wise, or work-wise, or build as many trinkets as the Taiwanese people. Okay, that's not why this country was great. This country was great because we understood the fundamental value of the family unit, the nucleus family, and that's what we have to get back to in this country. If you get a girl pregnant, she's your girlfriend, she's your friend, you just had sex with her once, guess what? You get her pregnant. As a man, you have to step up and take the responsibility of that child. Because that child needs you. Whether you like this girl, don't like this girl, as a man, you got to step up and take care of this girl. As a woman, you have to be a mother to this child, first and foremost, because the children in this country are lost. They're completely lost. They don't know where they're going, what they're doing. Daycare centers, daycare centers are great. They will take the kids, they will change their diapers, they will feed them, and they will make sure the necessities are taken care of. But they won't love them, and they won't nurture them, and they won't care for them like their mother and father will. And that's why the mother and father at all times have to be involved. So whether you want to hear about it or not, hey, Edgar, my boy Edgar's in the house. What's going on, Edgar? Good to see you. Good to see you, Gail and Pam. I hope you are all still here. I hope you are understanding what I'm talking about here. I got to be honest with you. These mass shootings are a problem, and I think it goes back to the beginning, where we're just not nurturing these kids the way they should be nurtured. We're not looking out for these kids the way they should be looked out for. We're not caring for them properly. And trust me, I'm not saying everyone. But there are ones that are slipping through the cracks, and it's coming up more and more. Because let me tell you, back in the 60s, back in the 70s, you can get automatic weapons. I'm talking about Uzi 9mm, where you come in and you could just lay out 120 rounds all across the room in a matter of seconds. Okay, now they did away with those, and now the semi-automatics are a problem. The gun isn't the problem. The tool is the problem of these mentally ill people, and yes, they are. No one's going to argue that they're mentally ill. They are definitely, because you don't walk in. I know plenty of people I don't like, and I don't walk into a room and start blasting them. Let alone into a room full of strangers who I've never met and said, hey, everyone in here needs to eat a bullet today. What we need to do is, as a society, as a whole, we have to start looking out for these kids more. We have to start caring for these kids more. We have to we can't let kids slip through the fingers to our fingers like this anymore. These kids are the future. I don't want to get all Whitney Houston on us, but they are the future of this country. And the problem they're having is the same problem that that was going on for years. We always had loners. You always had kids who didn't fit in. You always had kids that were different, but they weren't different to a point where they didn't know how to act, and they started blasting, shooting up schools and stuff like that. This kind of thing just started happening. And the guns were always there. They were always readily available. So I don't want to... I think anyone blaming the gun is politicized, using... excuse me. They're using... Excuse me, sorry, it's hot in here. Turn on the air conditioning, crying out loud. It is on where? Jeez. It's like an oven in here. It's cold. You're old. Just walk past the camera. Don't walk behind it. It's fine. It's all right. My fans wanted to look at your ass. It's good. That's it. Throw that fan on. It's hot in here. Jeez. Much better. Anyway, I can go on and on about this. The bottom line is, in this country, we need to do a better job of taking care of our kids. This single parent thing has to ease up. If you have a kid, you're responsible for that kid, whether you like the idea of it or not. You can't just blow it off and act like it's someone else's problem. It happens all too often. But, you know, that is, that's my general idea on all that. And once again, when I run for governor of New Jersey, and as an independent, one of the first things I'm going to do is to ease the burden on the people of this country. And I can't save the whole country, but one of the things I will do to ease the burden on the people of this state is do away with income tax. The New Jersey income tax will be gone. Obviously, sales tax will still be in there, but we will be replacing that with the legalization of prostitution and marijuana, and then I will find out where all the money from gambling is going and make sure that goes to replace the that goes to replace the income tax that our hardworking Americans in this state will not be paying any longer. Because it has to end somewhere and it has to start somewhere. And it might as well start with me right here in New Jersey. Because it's time we take our country back from these politicians whose only concern is seeing how much of our money they can stick into their pockets. And then they use things like this mass shooting to help their political careers, and that is just despicable and disgusting. And I think I just did the same thing, so I'm pretty much a bastard myself. But at least I won't be reaching into your pocket for everything. Anyway, I hope the Renuses are still in the house with me, Darlene and Steve, because I'm about to pull the alpha male and alpha female of the week. As I was, hang on. Oh yeah, that's what time I thought it was. And as I promised, we are on our 75th episode, 3/4 of the way to 100 episodes. What a spectacular 75 episodes it has been. We have been funny. We have been serious. We've had a little bit of everything here for you over these 75 episodes. And as promised to my friends, the Renuses, who hopefully are still here. If you are, say hello, so I know you're still here. I promised, I've asked on several occasions, and it's always welcomed, if you have someone who falls into the category of an alpha. If you have someone, all right, my boy Steve is here. Okay, if you have someone who is an alpha, if you have someone who you think deserves to not only be called the alpha male or alpha female of the week, they will also, if you think they would fit into our Alpha Madness tournament, which always happens in March, chance to be the ultimate alpha for the year. Anyway, as I have promised my buddies Steve and Darlene, anybody can submit anybody you'd like, and I will take into consideration if I think they are worthy of being an alpha. I promised Steve and Darlene that I would save their suggestion for a special occasion, and here it is, the Alpha Male of the Week, their friend Bill Terrell. This gentleman is a musician, a comic, he's a speaker, he's author of Other Side of Rock and War. And here's the reason. Everything I read was, pretty general. He's a musician, he's a comic speaker. We all do that stuff. He wrote a book. A lot of people write books. The main reason I named Bill as the alpha male, he was drafted into Vietnam, and he was working for someone in the music industry. It slips my mind at the moment. He was working for like a record producer. They were going to get him a pass so he didn't have to go. He said no, that he wanted to go. He manned up, and he walked into that war zone. And not only did he go over there, but while he was over there, they started an orphanage, and they were taking care of Vietnamese orphans over there. With they'd work with nuns, and to this day, the orphanage is still up and running. How do you not applaud a guy who's done something like that? I read his B3. I don't know what a B3 is, but whatever you sent me, Steve, I read. But that, by all means, is worthy of, that's worthy of Alpha Male of the Week, without a doubt. So we salute Bill Terrell here at our 75th episode as the Alpha Male. I have not read his book as of yet, but I do want to. My only problem with reading, Steve, is I don't like reading. Reading is bad for you. It's no good for your eyes. I'm pushing 50 years old. I still don't need glasses, and that's because I don't read. He's a Jersey boy. That's even better. You are going to have to send me a picture of him, though, Steve, because I'm going to need a picture of him for the Alpha Male tournament, or I'm just going to put up a picture of Rodney Dangerfield in this place. Also, Alpha Female, it was a tough choice this week. I was batting around a few of them. But a good personal friend of mine was, she was practicing her I guess they call them hoops. Like, they got the big hula hoops that dangle from the sky. She was practicing. She probably shouldn't have been doing it over a cement floor, but she was. She fell and bashed her face up pretty well. And this girl who uses her face to make money was brave enough to post her bruised and battered face. And if you looked at her on the street, you think she had a crummy ex-boyfriend, but basically she just fell out of a hula hoop and landed on her face. But I love Cynthia. I love Cynthia Taser to death. Cynthia Dorn Anderson, I love her. Top to bottom, everything about her. She's such a genuine, kind soul. She's one of my favorite people. And I reach out to her as my alpha female of the week, because any girl who makes a living off being beautiful, is still confident enough in her looks and in herself to show her face all banged up like that. And again, it wasn't from it wasn't from anything other than, practicing her her aerial skills, and she got hurt, and she still posted the photos, and she's a total trooper, and she has all my love and support. So Cynthia Taser, we love you, and you are our alpha female. Bill Terrell, you are our alpha male. Congratulations to both of yous. You're living in the woods in Lancaster. I'm going to have to move into the woods. The woods seems the place to be. I think if I can go and just live in the woods somewhere, I'll be all right. I'm not paying taxes anymore. Okay, that's a general idea. Just don't pay taxes anymore. But hey, make sure you guys register to vote in New Jersey, because I'm going to need your votes when I run for governor of New Jersey, which I'm doing basically to help my my comedy career. So you guys camp a lot. Now, basically running for governor to help my comedy career, hopefully to get some more bookings. But if I win the governorship in the meantime, hey, fantastic. I'll just use that as a springboard to get more comedy. I could really charge a little extra if I'm the actual governor, and I make comedy appearances. That'll be fantastic. But that's what I'm hoping for. And now that I barely have a voice left, after ranting on about these mass shootings, we're going to do my favorite part of the show, which is the plugs. So let's start. It's been a while. Thank you, Darlene. I appreciate you and Steve voting for me, if I can even get on the ballot. Let's start with Josie's Pizzeria. Thank you, Darlene. I'm feeling okay. My back is still hurting. I'm about 80%, but I'm getting around. I'm being a trooper. Hopefully my back will, loosen up, and over the next couple of days I'll be back to 100%. And but we can only hope, right? In the meantime, I'll keep going to Josie's Pizzeria at 228 Stuyvesant Ave in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. Give them a call, 201-933-1966. What more to say? Awesome stuff. Also, one of my favorite girls, Molly Jane. Go visit her at onlyfans.com/MollyJane1011. Thank you, Dar. I'm already the alpha male. It's my show. But if you can make me the alpha governor, that would be awesome. That's Molly Jane, onlyfans.com/MollyJane1011. Check out Molly Jane. This girl is just, oh my God, she's sexy personified. What a beautiful girl she is. Worth every second of your time, without a doubt. Also, my favorite girl, Jen Garrett at rocketmail.com. She's out in Hoopeston, Illinois, taking care of Paws and Claws Rescue. Jen Garrett at rocketmail.com. I've preached her. She was the Alfie the first year here, won the Alfie Award for Alpha of the Year. Jen, everyone here knows Jen very well. I've spoken on her extensively and lovingly for a couple of years now. By all means, feel free to donate. Jen Garrett at rocketmail.com, and all the money goes right back into the rescue. Cynthia Taser, give her some love at kacreations.com. Anything you want made, wine glasses, shirts, t-shirts, onesies, twosies, threesies, all kinds of 3 and 4 teasies. For the kids, whatever thing you want on a shirt you put on it or on a wine glass, just go check her out. Cynthia Taser's the best at KA Creations. Also, DivorceDiaryShow.wordpress.com. My girl Michelle Trania. Love her to death. Love her show. Everybody go out. check the website and check our page. Do what you can. My boy Edgar, who I hope is still in the house, with North Jersey Alliance Football Club. These guys are gearing up. They're trying to move up the ranks of the soccer. I don't really understand how they do it, but I know they're trying to move up a league. Everybody give them your support. They support the town so very, very much. They run clinics. They look out for all the kids. They coach. They referee. They do everything they can along with their heavy game schedule. Plus, some of them even have full-time jobs. And Edgar is relentless. He's just constantly working to make it a better club. Can't wait for the season to kick off with them. Also, if you're in Atlantic City, go to acjokes.com. Check out acjokes.com for all your comedy needs in Atlantic City. And trust me, you'd rather go to a comedy show than losing all your money at the craps table. So check out acjokes.com. And as always, with all those plugs, when you check in, tell them Ed from the Alpha Male Show sent you. Let them know I'm still giving them love every chance I get. Because I love all my sponsors head to toe. Monday nights, Uncomfortably Funny podcast from 7 to 9 with Dave Hodjanowski, Anthony Ennison, Shay Farrell. They're somewhere on vacation right now. I know Dave. Dave is either in Florida or Vegas. He was jet setting around the country, having a good old time, him and his kid. But Monday nights, check out the Uncomfortably Funny podcast from 7 to 9. Definitely you want to check out the show whenever you can. They're on Facebook, Periscope, Ustream, whatever they can get up working. It's not always, but they do their best. And all of this is brought to you from HamiltonRadio.net and 102 DLG Radio Orlando with my boy DJ Friction. And, of course, iHeartRadio. Amazing how quickly I can lose my voice. Hey, Daniel Sasso Sr. is in the house just in time with 8 minutes left. Let's remind you, Rescue Mania is coming up again, Labor Day weekend. There's also going to be a date in Rutherford coming up very soon, but Labor Day weekend we will be out and about. A couple of matches, nothing crazy. Just something to get your juices flowing, so to speak. Summer's coming to an end, but the wrestling's going to heat up. It'll be this Labor Day, Monday. I actually got confirmation before the show. I will be happy. Hey, Julie Angelina is in the house. I haven't seen Julie in a while. How are things down under, honey? Good to see you. You're always one of my favorite guests. I want to come to Australia just to give you a big hug. I miss Julie. She's it's like 8 o'clock in the morning there, and when her show's on, it's like 3 in the morning here. All kind of crazy stuff, but I love Julie Angelina. She's the best. Definitely one of my favorites. I wish I could check out her show more often, but again, it's usually on at 3 in the morning, and 3 a.m. is actually, from 3 a.m. to like 4 a.m. is one of the hours I sleep. I don't sleep too many hours, but that's one of them. Anyway, Rescue Mania will be coming up. We got more coming up. This is going to be a great year for Rescue Mania. A lot of stuff happening. I believe the title is going to change hands a couple of times. Coming up, we got some great wrestlers, some great talent. Oh, excuse me. I'm repeating my diet doctor stuff. Love you too, Julie. I miss you tons. I wish the United States and Australia ran on the same time so I could see your stuff more. But I do try and catch it on replay when I can. I think that's about it. I mean, like I said, Rescue Mania is coming up Labor Day. Everybody come check that out. I'll be promoting that more as the event comes closer and closer. Everybody, this evening is coming and drawing to an end. Remember what I told you about the mass shootings here? We need to start taking care of our kids more. We need to we need to remember that the most important job in this country is not a CEO, it's not a CFO, and it's definitely not a dean or a engineer or a brain surgeon. Most important job in this country is being a mom and being a parent. And there's no more fulfilling and rewarding job than raising good kids that you can be proud of. And, well, let's face it, if your kid went and blew up a Walmart, you're probably not really that proud of him. But, hey, you never know. He's still your kid and you're still going to back him up. But right is right and wrong is wrong, and this country needs to get back to what made it great. And what made this country great was the nuclear family, not the best cell phone gimmick or whatever we have. So everybody today, when you go home, when you come around, you see your kids, give your kid a big hug, give your kid a kiss, tell them you love them. Because without that, what do we have? We got nothing in this country without our kids. So everybody, have a good week. I will see you again next week right here. Hopefully my voice won't give out at the 45-minute mark again. But if it does, I'll just keep talking because you can't shut me up. So everybody, I will see you here again next week. In the meantime, enjoy your week, enjoy your kids, enjoy your life, and stay safe out there. I will be driving recklessly, half asleep. Julie, I love you. I will see you again real soon. Everybody, have a great night. Have a great week. And I will keep saying goodnight until Gene starts playing my music. So everybody, have yourself a great evening.